Hey, happy Tuesday, everyone. This is Michael Flo with the Indysoft implementation staff. Today I'm going to be going over a print builder custom report in order to add a chart element into a custom report. So we'll go ahead and start by opening print builder and then going into our custom report section. And then here I'm going to add a new, and we'll call this a chart. And our data set is going to be looking at all the items due by company within the next 365 days. So company, year, due. And we'll just go ahead and click on the Create New Report. Then once that opens up right here, what we can do is we're going to go ahead and start by going over to our Data tab. And we're going to go File and New. I like using the Query Designer. Go ahead and select that. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at items that are due within the next 365 days. So we're going to need the equipment, and then we could also get the schedules. If we were just looking at this by company, we may also be able to do it with just the Sketch GI table. But for this one, just in case we wanted to go back in and add some additional information from the equipment, we'll go ahead and just add the equipment and Sketch GI. We'll go ahead and set a left outer join on the schedule type, and I'm going to go ahead and add a schedule type equals expression into the join based on the company and ID. And here I'm going to go ahead and say that it is a calibration schedule. You could also determine that by setting the search section to look at the sketch type equals calibration as well. From here, right now I'm just going to go ahead and add the company. We could add any of the other gauges table information or Sketch GI table information. But for this example, to show a count by company, we just need company. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a count tab. I'm going to click on ID, but it really doesn't matter right here because I'm actually going to come down here and edit this function here. So we're going to replace that with just a count all. Once we have that, we can go ahead and come over to our search, and we're going to be looking for the due date, and we'll say that it is between get date and get date plus 365 for items due between right now and right now plus 365 days. Once we have set that, we can go over to our group, and we've got to group by company. This way all of our information for that count goes by a company group. And we'll also want to make sure we sort our data by company as well to ensure that those values get grouped correctly. Once we have all of that information selected, we can go ahead and hit OK. And here I generally like to click on the Preview button before I go any further with the Design tab, just to ensure that my data that I've selected is correct. That looked pretty good. So what we'll do now is we'll come on over to our Design tab. From here, what we'll end up doing is we're not going to want to put this chart into a detail, a footer, or a header, really. What we would like is probably either a title or a summary band, maybe even like the end of a group or something like that based on what you've got for the report. Once we're here, we'll go ahead and select the DBChart up here. So remember, we've got our fixed fields and then our DB fields, so we want the DBChart. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of make this a little bit bigger. Once I've done that, what we'll need to do is we'll actually need to right-click, and we're going to edit the chart in order to set our information. So in here, we need to add our series. For this example, I'm going to use a bar chart, but I'm going to set that to a 2D bar chart. And we'll go ahead and hit OK. From here, you can expand on the series and go to Series 1, because the first thing we need to do is we need to edit our data source. So the data source is where those bars are coming from, and right now it will land on manual, but we're going to want to change that to our data pipeline section here. Once we've done that, we can select our data pipeline, and right now in this report we only have one data pipeline, so we don't need to be able to pick a specific one, just the only one. Then we can set our label. So the label is going to be the groups represented along the x-axis. Then our bar going up in the y-axis will be our count of our items per company. Within our bar or our X section, you want to make sure that those are numeric values. So say, for example, you had a model number. Model number would be the grouped item, and then the count of model number would be your bar item. From here, we can also go ahead and update our axis title. So we can say this of items or count per company. And we could update the chart title of something more descriptive, such as items due next 365 by company. Additionally, we can edit our legend information here, update where it's at, what that information looks like, as well as any of the other options. From here, I'll go ahead and hit close, and you'll see that it will go ahead and populate that chart with the information. So when we click on our preview tab up here, we can see what that would look like represented in the page size area. One thing just to be aware of is based on the group names, you may want to consider changing the font size information. For example, Continental Testing here is a little bit bigger. So for example, if we come back over here and we edit our chart, and let's look at our bottom here and labels. What we could do is format our font, and we could change that size in here. Additionally, if we wanted in our logo or our descriptor section, we could also set the X value here, and that will change some of the grouping in the report itself. So generally, I don't end up using the X section. I just set the bar area within the data source. And that gets us a nice, easy to read bar chart. If anyone has any questions or needs any assistance with any items like this, feel free to reach out to support or implementation at Indysoft.com. And hope everyone has a good day and enjoys the video.